This week on TGC News, the 870 gets faster, another affordable red dot, and tons of new products. Rand CLP offers an entire lineup of non-toxic cleaners and lubes for the discerning shooter. You can use their bore and bolt to clean up carbon, fouling, or rust, and then follow it up with their CLP, or for hot and heavy applications, the hog grease, for before, during, and after the range. Find out what the nano-infused bio-friendly lineup from Rand CLP is all about over at randclp.com. Welcome back to another episode of TGC News, the only gun news show that covers things you actually care about. My name is Jon Patton. Before we get into the news, I want to address something that keeps popping up in the comments. For those of you that are complaining about the expensive products that get covered here on TGC News, I have something to tell you. I don't control the gun industry.
See, it's all about control with you. I don't control the Raptors. It's a relationship.
I don't have a say in what gets announced as news. If there is nothing new and affordable to cover, I can't just make something up. This show is about new and cool products, so I try to talk about whatever is new and cool regardless of the price. If you want more affordable products, please let your favorite gun companies know. Tell them how you feel. Until then, I'll keep covering whatever is new and cool that week, regardless of the price. Now, the actual news. Remington is struggling. We've talked about this for a long time. They're one of the quintessential American brands, yet they make very few guns that people actually want to buy. Perhaps that trend will be staved off by the new Desperate Times Remington 870 Desperate Measures. The 870 DM is an entire lineup of new pump-action shotguns with detachable magazines. They literally took a normal 870 and adapted them to take a single stack magazine. Now, I own an 870 Marine Magnum, and I've had it for a few years. I love that thing. The 870 is a proven platform. However, is this the product that is going to save them from the downward spiral? Let's dig a little deeper. The biggest downfall with a tube-fed shotgun is reloading. No question. Having to shove round after round down the tube just to empty it as fast as you would with any other gun is just not the most efficient way to feed the gun. And on the other hand, shotguns are the most versatile guns out there. A pump-action 12 gauge can send a huge variety of loads downrange. So how do you take a platform that lacks efficient loading and move it forward? Well, according to Remington, you copy someone else's idea of adding a detachable magazine and call it innovative. Swapping preloaded mags is definitely faster, and it allows for faster ammunition type swaps. However, detachable magazines are not new to pump-action shotguns. Most notably, you may have seen the Black Aces tactical guns out there for the past few years. But Remington does have a big boy R&D team, so what were they up against? Well, they had to figure out a way to take a gun that was designed to feed from a shell lifter and tube magazine to feed reliably from detachable magazines that had to be set up to hold both 2 3/4 and 3-inch shells. So while this isn't a brand new shotgun from the ground up, they definitely had to work on the existing design a little bit. The 870 DM will be available in 6 different variations, including a Magpul variant, which is $100 more than the Black Aces tactical version of that same gun. It will also come in a classic wood setup, one with a thumb hole stock, a version of the TAC-14, and my favorite of the bunch, the classic plastic stock version that has an MSRP of $529. They'll be making 6 and 3 round mags from the get-go. The pricing starts at $499 MSRP for the TAC-14 and goes up to about $799 on the high end. The faster version of the 870 is here. So is this the product that's going to be the rise of Remington? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And we actually have something affordable to cover news.
Hi, I'm Al Harrington of Al Harrington's Wacky Waving Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man Warehouse and Emporium.
A company that I might have scoffed at in years past is bringing out an optic that kind of has me curious. We've seen a huge rise in affordable red dot optics in the last 2 years. So is this new Sightmark Minishot M-Spec FMS really going to hold up, or is it just an unnecessarily long product name? Essentially, this is a reflex-style sight that, according to Sightmark, will be able to handle the recoil of the formidable 375 H&H Magnum, which, if you are unaware, is freaking painful to shoot. It features a 3 MOA reticle, ambi controls, and up to 30,000 hours of battery life, depending on the setting, of course. And it also has a 12-hour auto shutoff feature. Pretty cool. Included in the box is a low-profile mount as well as an AR kind of riser-style mount with no extra cost added. So in theory, you can mount this on a pistol, you can mount it on a long gun with like a high rail if you need that low-profile mount, or just on a regular old AR-15. Pretty cool across the board. Now, here's the best part. This thing has a suggested retail price of $249. Right now on their site, it's at $239 on back order. That means if this holds up, it will be an exceptional value. Like I've said before, most shooters are not beating the snot out of their gear to require the robust nature that can be had in things like an Aimpoint or a Trijicon. So for a lot of guys, that extra cost isn't always justified. Some people just want something affordable that doesn't suck. Is this Sightmark the answer to that question? Time will tell. You know I love trying to jam a ton of stuff into every week, and this week is no different. Let's blast through all the products that are new but didn't get a full story here on the show. First up, Faxon is releasing a new match-grade 6.5 Creedmoor barrel that is made from 416R stainless and comes standard with fluting to keep weight down and surface area up. MSRP on that is $419. Speaking of barrels, Tactical Solutions is stripping down their AR-22 uppers and are now offering them as a barrel and bolt combo. Cool idea if you have an upper laying around and you want to shoot some rimfire. The kit comes with a 1/28 threaded heavy barrel, a 22 long rifle bolt setup, and of course a magazine for that. Retail price on that is $410. Savage is expanding their line of MSRs with a new long-range AR-10. They will be available in 6.5 Creedmoor and 308 off the bat and are generally configured how precision guys might want to do it with an M-LOK rail, Magpul, PRS stock, and a fluted heavy barrel. They will also be available in 6mm Creedmoor next month. MSRP on those is set at $22.84. SB Tactical, better known as the company that made AR pistols relevant, announced a new minimalist version of their brace called the SB Mini. It's a pretty cool idea for saving a bunch of weight on a tiny little AR pistol build. MSRP on that is $119. And rounding us out this week, the classic Springfield M1A can now be had in the flavor of the week, everyone's favorite cartridge, the 6.5 Creedmoor. It's available in 3 different configurations, including a black composite stock as well as black and tan precision variants. This is all based around the M1A loaded. MSRP on that starts at $19.85. Whew, man, that's expensive. The Spartan from LaserMax offers a different approach to weapon-mounted light and laser combos. Available with either a red or green laser, it also takes advantage of the most visible wavelength in the color spectrum and projects 120 lumens of mint green light with just a single AAA battery. Able to be mounted on virtually any pistol with a Picatinny rail, you can own the night by clicking the link in the video description to learn more.
Let's do this!
Yep, let's do this. The first question this week is from Dan Nolden, and he asked, with the current state of the gun industry, would you say now is a time for a beginning gunsmith to get an FFL and start building and selling firearms? Good question. Listen, I'm never going to tell you not to do something you love. If you want to do that for the rest of your life, do that. But don't fool yourself into thinking you'll be an overnight millionaire. The gun industry is hurting right now because of this normalization, so be prepared for a difficult road ahead and go and make the best freaking guns you can. Our next question is from Dylan Quinn, and he asks if I think the 224 Valkyrie will become a popular cartridge. I think the jury is still out on the Valkyrie. Federal made some hefty claims, and I haven't seen them proven or disproven yet. If people are able to get the results that Federal claims, then I think it has a chance, but we just don't know yet. And our last question is from Justin Hanna. He asks, why do you still support the NRA? Do they pay you? It's funny because the amount of assumptions that got made about TGC, Adam Kraut, myself, and the NRA and all this kind of stuff after the roundtable was massive. This is one of the first times we were asked this question without accusation attached to it, so I'm going to answer it. The simple answer is that no, we are not paid by the NRA. We have worked closely with them for the TGC panel that takes place at the NRA annual meeting, but they have not once paid any member of the TGC team. Not once, not a dime, nothing. Sorry. I know some people out there just assume that, but no, zero, zilch, nothing. I support the NRA because even though I don't agree with them on everything, I refuse to give up my support for one of the largest weapons we have against anti-gun politicians and that sort of nonsense. I said this during the roundtable. You don't just throw out a good knife because the blade gets dull. You sharpen it. That's what I want to work towards. Wayne LaPierre is a detriment to the success of the NRA. Some of the board members are a detriment to the success of the NRA. Their marketing firm is a detriment to the success of the NRA. Those people are a detriment to the Second Amendment as a whole. There are NRA board members that have called Adam a Trojan horse because they know he wants to get in there and hold them responsible for things. I agree with him on that. Let's fix the organization. Let's hold them accountable. I've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of comments saying, F the NRA. I support XYZ different organization. If only everyone supported the organization that I support, then everything would be fine. The reality is that whether or not you like it, the NRA's membership far exceeds by millions every other gun-related organization in the U.S. right now. We can't even get people out to vote out the horrible politicians on Capitol Hill, yet some people think we could get millions of people to drop their support for the NRA and then switch to something else. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm a life member of the NRA. I'm also a life member of the GOA. I plan on expanding that to even more groups this year. We have to fight with these groups. Fighting against them and pretending like we can do it with just one is incredibly short-sighted. So let me recap here. We are not paid by the NRA, and you do not throw out a dull knife. You sharpen it. I hope that clears up my stance. My question to you guys this week: how many of you still rely on a shotgun as a primary home defense gun? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you want your question answered right here on the show, you can send that to me over on theguncollective.com. And that is it for this week's show. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button and share it with your friends. That is a massive help. If you didn't like it, let me know why down in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, please get subscribed and hit that bell because it helps us get our stuff to you every single week. And as always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon. The shirts worn in today's video on The Gun Collective have been provided by Patriot Patch. Closed captions have also been brought to you by Patriot Patch Company. Be sure to click the link in the video description to check out all of their great products, including their cleaning mats.